Be fiery and testy with the ladies out here a few minutes ago, huh? You guys enjoy that press conference, yeah? All right, so as you guys know, coming up top of the hour, we have our ceremonial weigh-in for UFC 314. I would like to hear some noise. How many of you believe Alexander Volkanovski is going to regain the featherweight throne? All right, if you just made noise, you cannot now make noise for Diego Lopez, but who likes Diego Lopez? We think Paddy Pimblett takes Michael Chandler's ranking, or what? All right, well, we are very excited for all of that, but right now it is my absolute privilege to bring out a very special guest. One of the hottest free agents in mixed martial arts is bringing his act to the big show in the UFC. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome decorated wrestler, former Bellator fighter, now in the UFC where he belongs, Aaron Pico. I mean, how good does Aaron Pico look head to toe right now? It's great to see you, man. So this is very exciting for all of us in the UFC family to have you in the fold. I think a lot of us remember all the fanfare that accompanied your pro debut. So how excited are you to finally be here in the fold and to test your skills against the best fighters in the world?
No, I'm super excited to be here. It's been a dream come true, but I've been saying it for a while. You know, I'm not here for a participation medal. I'm here to be the best in the world and become a UFC champion. So I know I got my work cut out for me, and I'm just so excited to be here in front of the fans. I'm new here, so take it easy on me, but we're going to have some fun.
So in terms of your free agency, when you hear Dana White be asked about Aaron Pico and he says, I'm definitely interested, what is that moment like to hear him publicly say that for you and your family and your supporters?
Yeah, it feels really good. I mean, Dana White is the best promoter in the world. The UFC is the biggest organization, and it just feels good to be here. You know, I can promise the fans one thing is I will put on the most exciting fights. If you go back and watch my knockouts, you watch my past, I'm an exciting fighter. So
Movsar Evloev was a name that it looked like might show up in your bracket. It does not appear that that fight is going to be May 17th, perhaps because he was not ready nor willing. But what can you tell us about how soon we might see you in the octagon and why that maybe won't be the matchup?
Yeah, both Movsar and I agreed to fight, and he's a very good fighter. And I was really excited for that because a lot of people don't realize that I grew up wrestling. I spent a lot of time in Dagestan, Chechnya, all over the world wrestling. So I was ready to fight Movsar, and it didn't happen for whatever reason. But hopefully, in the near future, I could fight.
I'd imagine you'll be with us tomorrow night, octagon side, watching one of the biggest nights in featherweight history. Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, we're happy to have you there. I believe we might have some microphones. Yeah, go ahead, Jose.
So obviously, Aaron, people that have been covering this sport for a long time remember when you were signed to Bellator when you were 0-0. So I guess, was this always the end goal? Because I even remember back then you would talk about how you looked up to George St. Pierre, you were training with Jon Jones and everything. So I guess, was this always the end goal, even back when you were in Bellator?
Yeah, absolutely. The end goal was always to be in the UFC, and I think for any fighter just starting out, this is where they want to end up. I mean, they got the best fans in the world. I mean, just look around. Everybody's here. And I'm just, like I said, I'm just so excited to have the platform to show that I'm the best fighter in the world. And you guys are in for a treat. So let's get something booked soon.
And obviously, you know, you said you and Movsar both agreed. A lot of people view him as the #1 contender who could be fighting for the belt next. We don't always get a Q&A with newly signed free agents. So are you feeling the machine of the UFC behind you this early?
Of course. I mean, to get Movsar right out the bat or just have that name, I think the UFC knows I'm exciting and I'm capable of becoming a UFC champion. So I got to be ready.
You know, with all these free agents signings the last several years, with Kayla, MVP, Michael Chandler, you know, they said the same thing where they know their fighter fans that only watch the UFC, and maybe they didn't know Michael Chandler or Kayla Harris. So I'm curious, what has been the fan reaction and reception to the signing?
I'm sorry, say that louder.
What have you made of the fan reception and reaction to your signing? Because I'm sure there are people that have never watched Bellator and have only watched the UFC.
Yeah, this is it's been crazy. When the news broke that I signed with the UFC, it's been a lot of media, a lot of attention. Good people, you know, some people say good things, some people say bad things, but at the end of the day, just wait till I fight.
Aaron, I know we had spoke earlier this week about you coming out here potentially, and here you are, I guess, going to the fights tomorrow night. What are you looking to take away from seeing the most elite featherweights in the UFC from up close and personal?
I think it just gives me an opportunity to study. I mean, I'm a big student of the sport. To see them live I can learn a lot. And I think the biggest thing for me is just getting used to the atmosphere. I mean, coming from another organization, yeah, I fought in big crowds, but I never fought in front of UFC fans. They've been telling me that the UFC fans are a different breed, and they are.
And since the signing, I mean, has there been anyone in your life that has come to you that's given you like a strong piece of advice about this next chapter? Jon Jones, anyone else on your team, coaches, anything like that?
Just stay out of trouble.
Question for Aaron. At Media Day, a lot of the featherweights had some really nice things to say about you as a human being and your skills as a fighter. Out of the UFC featherweight division, who do you see as your toughest matchups?
That's a very good question. They all are tough, and the feeling is mutual from what they said. I have a lot of respect for them, but everybody's tough. Honestly, I don't have a clear answer for that one, to be honest with you.
Fair enough. And one question for Jon Anik. If you could match up Aaron with anyone in the division, who would it be?
Well, I want to let the dust settle this weekend, right? Because I have said that this fight card, Saturday night, not since Conor McGregor and Jose Aldo have we had a bigger night in the UFC's featherweight division with all these fighters competing. I like the Movsar Evloev fight. I think that makes a lot of sense, but there are a lot of guys near the top of that division that I think would pique the interest of Mr. Pico. I'm just excited to see him knock a man out so I can drop a Pico at the top of my fucking lungs, if I'm being honest. All right, we got any more questions? Yes,
Right
go
here.
ahead, yes.
Hey, Aaron, welcome to the UFC. Given the fact that you have a wrestling background, but you've also trained with the likes of Freddie Roach, and you have a very boxing-heavy approach, seeing the success that Ilia Topuria had at the 145-pound division, how far do you think you can go, and how soon can you achieve that?
I think I can be champion within a year. I know that's a bold prediction, but I truly feel it. Ask Freddie Roach, ask Miguel Cotto, ask Jose Ramirez, Ryan Garcia. They all know that I can box, and Topuria has really, really good hands, but I don't think it's at my level, if I'm just being completely honest.
Your left hook to the body is one of your signature moves. How do you think that's going to help you in this division?
Well, I think it will help in any division. Anytime you hit somebody in the liver and they go down, it will help you out. So, yeah, I'm really known for my hands, and that's what people like to see. They like to see people get basically demolished by punches, so that's what I'm here to do.
The fact that Movsar Evloev was mentioned, and it was a fight that was pretty much close to happening, it tells you the expectations the UFC had out of you. Does that bring extra pressure on you, given the fact that this is all so new, but you've been thrown into the sharks so quickly?
Yeah, it's a good question. It is what it is. Pressure is always there, so unless you don't like pressure, you're in the wrong sport, so.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I think that's going to do it. We are very excited to have this man in the UFC. They say pressure is a privilege. It's been on this man since his pro MMA debut. How about a hand for the newly minted UFC featherweight, Aaron Pico?